My name is Sky, and I couldn't record the video file on with Fraps or anything like that, unfortunately, because it's not letting to capture my desktop. But whatever. Today, me and Pig Ducks, which she's in the call with us, via Skype, we will be watching this. Haunted Gaming.
Don't put it down. It's a Tamagotchi thing. Yeah, I remember those things used to be popular.
And, okay, Fraps just kind of bugged out on me there.
First top comment, I still have my old Tamagotchi.
Goodness. Alright, guys.
No, I'm serious.
Ready when you are, Rach.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. By the way, shout out to some ordinary gamers. Dude! You're awesome!
Yeah, I'll make sure I can get the video file and put it down in the
Haunted Gaming. This time we do a creepypasta.
Dang, I don't remember the settings looking like this in the game. I never played the game, but still, I don't remember it looking like this. This is so weird.
When I first got one, I used to take it with me everywhere I
went. See what he
almost
names
as if it was attached to me. I had all kinds of games, anywhere from Pokemon to Bomberman to Wario Land to Little Space.
So whose gameplay is this anyway? I want to know actually.
One game I got used to belongs to my cousin, Paige.
It's definitely some ordinary
gamers. It was based on a line of electronic keychain toys that were popular during the 90s.
Why is
She was a big fan at the time, having all kinds of virtual Tamagotchi pets.
What's your name again?
The premise of the game was very simple, yet a little bit complicated. You started by picking one of these.
Why would you name it Sogchi? I don't
Then you give it a name.
Get
it was never clear what gender you'd get, but you could tell by your pet's color when it hatched. Black meant you got a boy, white meant you got a girl. Depending on how well you took care of your pet, it will grow into different characters. If neglected for too long, though, however, it will die.
I love how specific it is.
One day,
Meat.
I went to my cousin Paige at her house.
That is pretty weird.
It's a weird looking Tamagotchi.
One such thing
It's so tiny!
Surprisingly,
oh my god, it's like a
I
little...
was very young at the time, about 10
I don't
years
know.
old, so I was really into these kinds of games still. You're giving me
Wait, is it a guy or a girl? I didn't see.
I got kind of tired of it.
I couldn't tell.
I don't know what else to do with it, so I figured I'd give it to you. She smiled and handed me the Game Boy and a gray cartridge. I looked at the label, and sure enough, the title read Tamagotchi.
However, I don't want to take a shot.
The label is
no, I don't want to play either. Smile game? That sounds scary.
But the last image made the creature appear to look
that sounds really scary, doesn't it?
Dying. I figured maybe the label's a bit warm.
Oh my god.
I shrugged it off.
That desiring face for cake, though. It's like Jack Stone's a guy.
Oh, I know.
Went to my bedroom to go play it. I turned on the game and noticed the introduction.
I feel like you might as well just love cake just as much as Jack does.
The original intro shows this normal UFO falling to Earth and crash landing near a city.
Jack,
but instead the UFO
do a gameplay with us
into the city, creating a slightly larger fire within it. I was skeptical to this, but thought it was nothing at the time. I went to the options menu to look at an option.
I thought it was nothing at the time, cliche.
Which lets you see small records of pests that have died on your last save file.
Dude.
Pests that have died? That's terrible. How would you have that in there?
Two of them looked odd. One of my cousin's pets, which she named Buffy, had a skull in the place in a tiny portrait of the pet itself. The other,
Buffy,
Heaven, looked like it was sleeping.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes!
SCKPRSN, which probably meant sick person, due to the tiny space in the lock.
Okay, I get that.
I was shocked. I had never seen something like this in a virtual pet game. Not only that, but why would such a thing appear? And what would it be implying? That somebody somehow abandoned their pet and left them to die?
That's sad.
Anyways, I started a new game and chose a spotted egg pattern. I couldn't really think of any names, but I was certain I was going to get a female, so I put Sarah as a name. I watched about 5 seconds for the egg to hatch, which it did, and sure enough, I got a little white blob indicating I hatched a girl. It looked as if it
got a little
had
white blob
expression on its face, and I heard a twangy sound coming out of the Game Boy, meaning it was hungry. I checked her status to see just how hungry she was. She had one black heart, which meant she was very hungry. Selecting the food icon gave me 5 choices: slice of bread, slab of meat, carrot, piece of cake, and an ice cream cone. I chose meat and fell to the ground next to my pet, and she happily gobbled it up. Then I noticed something strange. She started to yawn, and I heard a little
I do not get the point of this game you're playing right here. What do you do?
Which is supposed to be circumventing the yawn.
I have no clue.
My pet fell asleep for a few minutes, and it turned off the lights, making the screen go black so she could sleep. But just as I had turned off
do you need to see what you're doing though?
I could have sworn I saw some kind of text appear for a fraction of a second. I don't really know what it was, but it looked like it said, "Don't leave
Subliminal
me like you did the
texts.
others. Please." As a little kid of only 10 years old, I was pretty shocked. Was my own pet talking to me?
Yes.
After a while, she woke up. I could tell because I heard a pinging sound indicating my pet was cheering or laughing. I turned on the lights and noticed she was bouncing around the screen, wide awake. "You just woke up," I said to myself, weirded out by my pet's behavior. After bouncing around for a good 3 minutes, she fell back asleep almost instantly. But then she appeared to have a nightmare
weird.
because she almost had a frightened look on her face as she slept, and almost appeared to be fidgeting, like something was stressing her out. Some calm
Seizure?
music started playing while she slept, but it sounded eerie at the time. I turned off the lights again, and this time I saw another message for a split second saying, "Don't put it down. Don't put it down." Huh? Don't put what down? The Game Boy? I heard
Yes.
another yawning noise. She started
Duh.
to wake up, and the
What else does that
scenes
mean?
represented the illusion she was snoring started to disappear, meaning it was time for me to turn on the lights. I did. and I got
Terrible at
one
this
last
math
subliminal
game.
message saying, "Don't put it down, or I won't wake up." Now,
Oh,
I
okay.
was scared. It was almost as if
I
my
would be
own
too.
virtual pet was talking to me through the Game Boy. I reluctantly did what my pet told me and held it for a long time. But then she started
Like
looking
how long,
depressed. I
though?
noticed a little shadow over its head, implying that it was sick. But what really got me was the background started to get more depressing with my pet's mood. It started getting darker. The more depressed it got, and then it looked like it was going to start crying. It also had been
No.
kind of crawling along the screen, and the sadder it got, the slower it started to crawl, as it got even more sick. Suddenly the lights flickered on and
Oh,
off for
no.
another split second, and the message I got this time was, "Help me, help me. I'm not going to make it, help me."
Oh
I kind of
no,
felt a little
that's
saddened at this point.
pleasant.
I think my pet was already about to die after I just hatched it, which wasn't in common with my skills in the game. So I quickly moved the cursor over to
That
the
is so
medicine icon,
sad.
which was a small syringe with liquid in it. That was the icon. Something was wrong as I tried to open the menu. I got a quick glance at the two options I could pick to cure my pet, but the menu closed out before I could select anything. I tried selecting again, but this time the menu
Menus.
wouldn't open at all. I just heard a buzzing noise
Stupid
each time I tried to
menus.
select it. The lights flickered one more time with one more message saying, "You weren't fast enough." After that, screen started flashing like crazy.
I think
for the
you
death
mean
animation.
you're too
As my
slow.
little blob appeared to be dead in its tracks. The
This
body
guy is a
just laid
Sonic
there,
reference.
slumped down. There was nothing I could
Dude.
do on the screen.
God,
It was
Sonic would
a
always annoy the crap out of me because every
I
time
couldn't
he'd
select
kill me
anything
in
from
Smash
the
Bros.
cursor at all.
Brawl, he would like be
Back
running in
button
place. You're
moved.
too slow, and I'm like,
Changed for a
I'm gonna
second.
rip your
But
head
only
off if you
some
don't
writing.
shut up.
After every few seconds,
I annoyed
the
the
screen
crap out of me
flashed.
so
The writing
much.
would appear and say things like traitor and heartless. And finally I saw, "You're a sick person."
Oh
across the back of the
God.
window. I was really heartbroken now. What exactly did I do to my pet? All I did was try to take care of it.
I know, right?
And what did it mean by I wasn't fast enough? Maybe it's because I didn't pick the game up fast enough. Finally, I heard a long beep as the screen faded to white. The cutscene then showed my pet sitting there, dead, in a grayscale background.
Aw.
And normally, the last part of the death sequence is supposed to show your pet turning into an angel, floating
Aw.
across the screen, or a ghost if you're playing the Japanese version. But instead, it just seemed to float across the screen, as if some invisible hand or arm was dragging it around. After a minute
That's
or two, it started to decay and
pleasant.
decompose. After that, all the images faded away, and another text box popped up saying, "Why? Why did you leave me?" I have never been more horrified in my entire life. I
I would
erased
be
all the
too.
data as much as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And tucked that cartridge away into place.
Dude, for God's sake, stop giving your poor little Tamagotchi shots.
So, our
Jesus.
first Tamagotchi
Oh,
creepypasta.
hey,
And what
ew.
of it? It was nice. Reminded me a lot of earlier creepypastas that we did. A lot in the
Stop
too.
giving it
Now, as far as
medicine.
cliches go, they
God,
definitely
man.
did exist.
Clean up its
And I was able to
poop.
pick some out for example, the different label that the player notices but shrugs off, and the title screen that also gets shrugged off as well, which always seems surreal to me. If I were to play a game again, I would notice.
Oh, God,
different
it's starting
things,
to
especially
crawl.
Labels.
It's starting to
It's
crawl.
just
You're gonna
something
kill
that's
it.
burned into your head, and even something like a title screen, which in theory you should be constantly seeing,
Oh, okay.
should really affect you. And I mean, I personally,
crawling,
myself,
guys,
I
you gotta
personally,
kill
wouldn't
it.
really shrug these things off, and I don't think a lot of people would.
Like, look at it though.
These
It's
creepypasta
doing
protagonists seem to
that.
just shrug these things off.
He's
like,
gonna kill it.
Some acknowledge them, but they don't give
Would
a
you
shit.
shrug off a
You can say, "Hey,
noticeably
they're younger
different title
people,
screen?
it's a
No, I
10-year-old
wouldn't.
person." But still.
Not really,
Told
no.
us
No,
that
I
do
would,
find surreal. Hey, tell me your
I'd be,
opinion on it too. Now,
well,
what I don't
concerned, if
like about
anything.
this creepypasta is the build-up, for example. It led up from just being this harmless Tamagotchi game. on a
He's
Game
gonna
Boy
kill
with
it.
more
Look at it,
cartridge.
just sitting there like a
Once
little
it's
lifeless
becoming
splat
innocent
blob. Look at it.
if they weren't cared for in a frenetic manner. And coupled with dialogue such as "I wasn't fast enough,"
God
or
dang it, I forgot my
"Why did you
glasses.
leave me?" It sort of gave me this almost Ben Drowned vibe, which was really
Ben
amazing.
Drowned
Now,
vibe?
Maybe
What?
something is in the cartridge like that other creepypasta console me that we did. Maybe the player As they stray away from the game, it constantly pushes them to come back, pulls them in. Unrealistic, but nonetheless creepy. Like console me in the sense, as I mentioned above. Other touches, like the pixel floating across the screen taken by an invisible hand, also lend credibility to the theory.
We didn't even know what was taking it, though. That's the thing.
Foster the theory. Maybe it may not make it creepy, necessarily, like, just instantly creepy, but it helps foster these theories in your head as you read them. And also makes these creepypastas more intriguing to read. As you want to know as you want to find out what happens ultimately with the game itself, and instead of putting you off or just throwing you off entirely, build-up is necessary. It may not almost always lead to a creepy atmosphere.
You have interesting thoughts on this.
You intrigued in the content itself,
Indeed.
Which is amazing.
Guys got a lot of thoughts. I mean, dude, we still have like 3 minutes of this. God.
Blood that was used. Yeah, there was decay and decomposing of the body that happened, but it's not a big deal.
I wish that like video game creepypasta website had like audio, so you wouldn't have to like just stare at like a phone and read it. Like this is literally where's my phone? Like this is literally me when I'm like reading something. Like I'm trying to see something really tiny on my phone.
You can visualize it rather than just seeing pools of blood. With that in mind, the
just holding my phone straight up to my face, like,
it wasn't
so interested.
Really way either.
I was talking to Ruby on Skype one time, and I was reading this one Toy Story post.
It was better than getting
they said like it would be like a really good alternative ending, and then it was like actually a meme. It was written like a meme form. It was so tiny, and I was like trying to read it. So I'm like, I was like, my phone's like literally to my face, and she's like, "You're so focused," and I didn't pay attention. I'm like, I mean, like you're just like holding your phone, and she's like, does what you're doing. I'm like, oh, sorry. I was just reading this one post. I mean, it seems really interesting. I told her about it.
Where you're setting up a sequel where someone
okay, alright, gamer, we get it. We get it, man.
Have a proper conclusion.
Mate, this guy is way too.
I thought it was a nice creepypasta, not really creepy, as
bit much for a commentator,
But the premise of a Tamagotchi
yeah, I'd say
to the player, or at least being
like 5 minutes of non-stop commentating on one creepypasta. It's like not even 10 minutes.
Live, if you will. It's a pretty creepy idea. Maybe the next time you dig out that old Game Boy, or even an actual Tamagotchi, and you fire up a rousing game of Tamagotchi, repetition, you may want to think about what might be happening behind those very scenes. What would you rate this?
Okay, that's just creepy reasoning. I'm kind of scared to play my DS now.
Like you saw them, like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mudahar, out.
Mudahar, that's how you pronounce it, okay. I hate his outro music.
Alright, you guys. Well, thank you for watching. Better get our Audacity back open. But this has been.
I agree.
This has been Skypig Gaming and
Skypig.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time, guys. Peace out.